Top news: Sam Altman is back at OpenAI as CEO, according to a company tweet. The company said it is still working out the details but that a new board will include former Salesforce CEO Bret Taylor, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, and board member and Quora CEO Adam D'Angelo, who reportedly remains on to give the previous board some representation. No explicit mention was made of whether OpenAI chief scientist Ilya Sutskever or OpenAI board members Tasha McCauley and Helen Toner will stay on the board, but the odds aren't good. As for Altman and OpenAI president and co-founder Greg Brockman, the rumor is they will give up their board seats, and Altman will agree to an investigation into his behavior as CEO. All that said, Altman's return occasioned quite the celebration at OpenAI HQ. A smoke machine employed by revelers triggered a fire alarm and a subsequent visit by 2 truckloads of San Francisco's bravest. "We are so back," Brockman tweeted. "I separately appeared on CNBC today and talked in part about a lingering question that has yet to be answered, whether OpenAI's capped profit model, instituted by OpenAI in 2019 soon after Altman became its CEO, will remain in place. The idea was to give investors up to 100 times their return before giving away excess profit to the rest of the world, because as Altman told me in 2019, if OpenAI is successful in its mission, it could maybe capture the light cone of all future value in the universe, and that's for sure not okay for one group of investors to have. With so much shifting around right now, it's worth watching to see if the structure sticks. Surely, investors, said to be again planning to buy $1 billion in secondary shares of OpenAI at an astronomical valuation, would be very happy to see OpenAI dispense with it. Massive fundings. Pocket FM, an Indian startup whose audio streaming platform offers a wide variety of audio content, including audiobooks, podcasts, and original audio series, is in the final stages of closing an $80 million round led by Lightspeed Venture Partners at a valuation approaching $800 million, reports TechCrunch, which has more big but not crazy big fundings. Advanced Electric Machines, a 6-year-old UK startup that designs and manufactures electric motors and powertrain systems, raised a $29 million series A round co-led by Legal and General Capital and Barclays Sustainable Impact Capital, with additional participation from Par Equity, Northstar Ventures, the Low Carbon Innovation Fund 2, and Turquoise Capital. Silicon Canals has more. Kiwi, an Indian startup founded this year whose app permits users to make payments using either a credit card or a bank account, raised a $13 million series A round. Omidyar Network India led the transaction, with previous investors Nexus Venture Partners and Stellaris Venture Partners also pitching in. The Economic Times has more. 90, an Atlanta startup that provides a suite of company-building tools for SMBs, raised a $35 million Series B round led by Blue Cloud Ventures, with Catalyst Investors and Insight Partners also taking part. Privy, a 2-year-old New York startup that works with mainstream companies like Resai to build blockchain-based services for consumers that work through Privy's wallet, raised an $18 million Series A round led by Paradigm, with previous investors Sequoia Capital, Blue Yard Capital, and Archetype also contributing. The Block has more. Vendelux, a 2-year-old New York startup that says it uses AI to provide information about important individuals attending various in-person events, allowing marketers to make informed decisions about which events to attend or sponsor, raised a $14 million Series A round led by First Mark Capital, with Servan Ventures also joining in. TechCrunch has more. Vividyne, a 2-year-old Philadelphia startup that grows human tissues in the lab to test potential new therapies before they go to clinical trials, raised a $38 million seed round led by Khosla Ventures, with Bison Ventures, MBX Ventures, Kairos Ventures, and CS Ventures also stepping up. Forbes has more. Smaller fundings. Fence, a Spanish blockchain startup founded this year whose software automates and optimizes debt operations for asset financing, raised a $2 million pre-seed round led by Semantic.vc and including Crane Earth and Actius. PYMNTS has more. Generative Engineering, a 2-year-old London startup whose platform enables engineers to create and run models that can generate and test thousands of different engineering designs, raised a $4.4 million pre-seed round led by EQT Ventures, with Join Capital also participating. EU Startups has more. Intrigue Media, a 1-year-old startup based in Washington, D.C., that publishes newsletters focused on global affairs, raised a $1.75 million seed round. Autumn Road Capital was the deal lead. Layer AI, a San Francisco startup founded this year that has developed an AI-powered productivity tool for game art production, raised a $1.8 million seed round. Investors included the Games Fund, Latin Ventures, and GFR Fund. VentureBeat has more. Osium AI, a Paris startup founded this year that aims to use AI to discover new materials, raised a $2.6 million seed round. Investors included Y Combinator, Kima Ventures, Singular, Collaborative Fund, and Raise Fitcher. TechCrunch has more. Fair Health, a London startup founded this year that uses large language models to capture data from clinical notes, aiding hospitals in resource management and cost recovery, raised a $3.1 million seed round led by General Catalyst, with additional contributions from KHP Ventures and Bertelsmann Investments. Silicon Canals has more. Relay Technologies, a one-year-old London startup that operates as an Uber for local deliveries, raised a $10 million seed round. Project Ventures and Prologis Ventures were the co-leads. TechCrunch has more. Solar Foods, a 6-year-old Finnish startup that has created a synthetic protein powder, raised an $8.7 million Series B round raised via the Springvest Oij platform, with previous investors Happiness Capital, Lifeline Ventures, VTT Ventures, and Phaser Group also investing. The Economist has more. Waspido, a 3-year-old Cameroon startup that arranges video calls between patients and doctors, collects patient samples from their homes, and delivers medications, raised a $2.5 million seed extension round from DP World, Savu Ventures, AAIC Investment, Axion Ventures, and CFAO's Health 54. TechCrunch has more. Going public. Private equity firms are resorting to buying back companies they only recently took public, after the company's IPOs have flopped. People, 4 House representatives have asked the SEC to investigate whether Elon Musk misled investors about the safety of Neuralink's brain implants in light of veterinary records that show that monkey test subjects suffered debilitating health effects, including paralysis, seizures, and brain swelling. The Washington Post uncovers evidence of an episode in 2019 when Y Combinator Paul Graham flew from London to San Francisco to fire his protege, Sam Altman, for placing his own interests ahead of those of the incubator. Meet Matthew Butterick, the man who is leading a string of lawsuits against major AI companies ranging from OpenAI to Meta. Essential reads. Ahead of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's initial ouster last Friday, several staff researchers wrote a letter to the board of directors warning of a powerful artificial intelligence discovery that they said could threaten humanity. 2 people familiar with the matter tell Reuters. NASA beamed a message 10 million miles via laser in only 10 minutes, a major advance over sending messages via radio waves. The UK just approved its first gene-edited drug, and the US is poised to be next. How to grow veggies on Mars, and how astronauts make Thanksgiving dinner in space. Detours, escaping a rhino in reverse. Read this before entering my Airbnb. Will Arnett, on a roll on Jimmy Kimmel Live. How to avoid acting like a turkey at your family's Thanksgiving dinner. Retail therapy, personal submersible.